Good morning and welcome to the Mayor's Weekly. We're pleased to have you with us this morning. We're pleased to be with you. And this morning, joining me is Renee Wilson. Renee, along with Mike Putman, looks after Jasper Main Street. And we could spend not just this morning, but the rest of the day and maybe beyond talking about the many positive things that Jasper Main Street has brought to the city of Jasper. And it's an effort where there's a pool of creative thinking, looking forward, looking for ways to do things better, make enhancements in our city, and those folks do a great job. Of recent interest, and just a few evenings back, Main Street hosted a function in Montgomery. This is the second year, matter of fact, and something I think that really bodes well for our city, and I've asked Renee to come and kind of give us an overview of the whys that we have this function in Montgomery, what we see as benefits, and we'll just have some general discussion about that. Before we get into that, there's always folks that are looking to jump on a bandwagon. You did this wrong, you did that wrong. Let me tell you, everything that we talk about today, not one penny of public money went into that. Restated, not one penny of Jasper money went into this function that we're talking about. Renee will give you the names of the corporate sponsors that paid the bill, and so don't think we're on to something where we've misappropriated public money. But Renee, we were in Montgomery a couple of evenings back, and great gathering. The invitation list had great diversity, and folks from state government and other areas, and it was just a delightful time. And as I said, I think it bodes well for our city, and it's so important to build relationships. And if you're on the radar screen of the folks in Montgomery, may not help you, but it sure doesn't hurt you. So, Renee, kind of give us an overview of what we're doing. This is the second year, why we did it, that sort of thing.
Okay, yes, we call this event Discover Jasper. And we want to keep Jasper, create positive relationships with our local government, our state government, the officials within the state departments. So whenever anything comes up on their radar about Jasper, then they go, oh, I know them. They're a great group of people. Okay. So this, like the mayor said, this is our second year to do this. We do it in conjunction with Senator Greg Reed's office. So he's really a big part of us making this such a successful event. And this year the event was held as a salute to our new representative, Matt Woods. And of course, Matt was there, and we were so honored to be able to, that Representative Woods and Senator Greg Reed worked together on a new grant. It was a product development grant in conjunction with the Alabama Department of Tourism. It was a $20,000 grant that was presented to Jasper Main Street to use for the Foothills Festival this September. So we are very excited to receive those funds to make our event here even better, bigger and better than it's ever been.
And just to reinforce what I said earlier, that $20,000 grant didn't come from Jasper money. That came out of state funding.
It sure did. It sure did. But this event it goes, like I said, to create positive relationships. We had people, the Lieutenant Governor, Will Ainsworth, was there, and Lee Centel, of course, with the Department of Tourism. The Director of the Department of Tourism was there. We had senators and representatives like Senator Jabba Wagner, who's been in service for many, many years in the state of Alabama. He was there, and Sarah Stewart, who's on the Supreme Court for Alabama. She was there, and we probably had 70, 80 people in attendance, and it's a very successful event. There's a lot of positive things that have come out from this event for not only Jasper Main Street, the city of Jasper, but Alabama Main Street as well. So we're just very excited. And like the mayor said, no city funds were used to finance this event. This year's sponsors were Synovus, Sane Associates, Stiefel, thank you, and Timberline Homes of Jasper. So they gave us the money to hold and put up this event in Montgomery, and we hope to be able to do this each year.
Right. And who was there from Jasper? I might miss somebody, but a number of representatives from Jasper Main Street. I think 2 from city government attended the function. As I said, this is year 2, and the first year we were able to turn the spotlight on Representative Connie Rowe and honor her for the great job that she had done representing our area. This year, to introduce Matt Woods and talk a little bit about our excitement to have him representing our area. The attendance there, I had an opportunity to talk with the Lieutenant Governor, talk with the Senate member that is over the Special Education Trust Fund, which is a huge sum of money and plays a tremendous role in education across the state of Alabama. Senator that's involved with some major functions of government, the Public Service Commission being one of them. And but to know those folks, and for those folks to know where Jasper's at, and I opened the session, and I don't say that for my benefit, but I said, my guess is that folks from Montgomery would wonder why a city of 15,000 people in the hill country of northwest Alabama would come to Montgomery to under the umbrella of Explore Jasper. And I said it's 2-pronged. And the first is it gives us an opportunity to turn the spotlight on our legislative delegation, and they play such a critical role in the success of our area. And then secondly, it's about the city's culture, and the city's culture is shared by Main Street, and we share Main Street's culture, and that is building relationships. That's a big piece of what we have talked about, and building a culture that can bring prosperity to our city. Building relationships with others in government, vendors, centers of influence, and the list goes on and on and on. But just to have the Lieutenant Governor there, and we, Representative Rowe, of course, she has stepped down from her position as representative and worked for the Lieutenant Governor, had an opportunity to chat with her. And but when you pick up the phone and call those folks, they know who you are, and it really makes a big difference. And Renee, what I would say is I've talked to folks. I think it's I talked about creative thinking over in Main Street, that these folks. Why didn't I think about doing this? You know, and I really think in this regard, we're probably the only act in town. Wouldn't you think? I don't know of anybody else doing it. Do you?
Doing an event like we did?
Right.
I believe so. I believe we are the only one
Right.
in Alabama of the 33, 34 designated Main Street cities.
And this is not some sort of highfalutin deal or whatever. The Main Street rented a facility that caters to banquets and meetings and that sort of thing. They had hors d'oeuvres, you know, you didn't have some highfalutin meal and huge amounts of money. And Senator Reed spoke and gave us some ideas about things that are going on in the state, but really just an opportunity to talk with folks. I spent some time talking with our Secretary of Agriculture, Rick Pate. Rick ran for office, I think, a year after I came here, and he came here on the campaign trail, came to know Rick, like him, and we talked about what's going on in the Department of Agriculture. But all of those contacts are so important, and Renee, I think about barring something happening, we don't happen. What do we do next year? You know, it's worked so well. How do you notch it up? I think we'd be successful just if we did status quo.
Right,
Right.
exactly. We're hoping to continue this and to continue to develop the relationships that we're creating with our state government and just keep pushing a positive influence, a positive reputation of Jasper and the things that we're doing here.
Well, I have to say this, and I don't say it because you're here this morning, but I would say Jasper, Alabama, Main Street function probably ranks at the top in Alabama and maybe across this country. And I've had the good fortune of meeting with a number of municipalities that were looking to get involved with Main Street. And one of the things that I tell the folks is you've got to have the right leadership. And Renee knows this. Had we not been successful in getting Mike Putman, I could see where it could amount to very little, if anything, if you didn't have that. But Main Street kind of became Mike's life, and I mean he's really pours himself out in Main Street every day, does he not?
He sure does.
And,
he sure does.
And I said, if you those like myself that have been around here a long time and recall when downtown was dark at 5 or 6 o'clock in the evening time, no more. And then the thinking beyond, and let me take this another step at the City Hall project, and I want to tell you how much I've enjoyed reading the comments on Facebook, people reminiscing their growing up years and being in the old Share Auditorium and that sort of thing. But there's a collaborative effort going on with Main Street and the Town Creek development, and you will see this take shape, and the city redoing Share Auditorium and locating the City Hall there is a big piece in bringing this plan forward. Now, we didn't build a city, we're not doing a City Hall down there to facilitate Main Street's efforts. We need a new City Hall. But to be able to work collaboratively and to benefit our city, preserve a piece of our history is going to be huge. What we know is that there'll be a bridge built, is what we know today. It could change. There'll be a walking bridge across Town Creek somewhere that will come in kind of behind City Hall. And so, as time goes on, next 4 or 5 years, if something don't happen, it's really going to be a gorgeous development downtown Creek.
It really, really will, and I'm so excited. We started it up next to First Avenue.
Right.
Across from Maddox, the walking paths and just enhancing what was already there. It was already a beautiful park,
Right.
and we just enhanced it. So we want to continue that into the next block.
Right.
We're raising funds currently to be able to facilitate that project.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's going to be expensive, but we want to make it look nice and continue to grow that. And the goal, the long-term goal, is to take this development all the way downtown Creek.
Right. Right. Just a few comments about the City Hall project. The south end of the building, that's the final leg of exterior demolition, and that'll wrap up maybe today or early part of next week. Then the next step, of course, the roof that's on that building is not the roof that will be there, and I don't know at what point in time that will be taken off and the new roof replaced. I've shared this with you before. The contract allows the contractor a year to do the project. The start date was in the first week of February. So they've made really good progress. I really feel like that it will not take a year. I believe a year from right now we'll be operating in the new City Hall. And if you want to see architectural renderings of what the interior will look like, we have a great display here on the second floor of City Hall. Feel free to come by and take a look at that. But again, it has been really fun to read about people reminiscing and their growing up years and people jumping in and talking about those days. But we will have a beautiful city hall. I'm gonna be surprised, not because we're a part of it. It's drawn so many rave reviews that project does not receive some sort of historical recognition or whatever, because it's going to be a landmark retrofit, if you will, or repurposing of a building, and to take a synthetic facade, and I think it'd be away from that building and return it to its natural, beautiful state is amazing.
It really is.
And you
It's
get
gonna-
to see it every time you walk in
I
your
do.
office, don't you? That's right.
I do, and
right.
I just smile. It's just so beautiful.
But I wanted Renee to come and tell you about this event that was held in Montgomery. Like I said, and if nothing happens, we'll be back in Montgomery next year, and again, it'll be funded with private funds, and the mission is to focus on our legislative delegation and build relationships with others in government that can help the city of Jasper. That's so important. So we're pleased to have you with us. As always, if you have questions, send them our way. And as I've said so many times, if they're not written with a poison pen, then we'll have answers quickly for you. And hope you'll continue to keep an eye on Shear Auditorium project, because there's some exciting things to come as the build out materializes. So again, glad to have you with us, and we'll look forward to being with you next week. Renee, and thank you for coming and talking about Main Street.
Thank you, Mayor.
All right.